Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my Dead Space Impossible mode, no damage plus restricted run. This is Chapter 5, Lethal Devotion, and we're starting out with a couple of lurkers. I do apologise if I sound a little bit under the weather, guys. My voice is not at its best. My chest is definitely being affected by this winter. And we have our first Guardian coming up, which I'm going to be using an explosive to try and get rid of. I don't know the damage properties on this particular creature, but sometimes when I fire at it, it dies, like just then, and other times it does not. So if you're having any problems getting the one cycle on the Guardian, I recommend restarting the checkpoint or letting yourself die. This monster is really dangerous if you try to run past it, so if you go near it, it will actually just kill you straight up, in almost a programmed kill. So I recommend doing that so you can always get the one-hit kill on him, because if you don't, you will be banking ammunition you might need later on. And trust me, once we hit Chapter 7, that's when things start to get real interesting, because the comfortability that you'll witness in these early videos goes away. And it goes away because I am no longer running around with max capacity ammunition. So if that sounds like an interesting prospect, we certainly have some obstacles in our path to overcome. And shout out to Khan in my community. He's just recently finished a run of his own on YouTube of Dead Space 2. No damage, no upgrades, no shop. So definitely check that out. Not an easy task. But here is the Hunter. The very famous necromorph. Kind of necromorph that keeps you up at night thinking about him. But in reality, other than how fast he is, he's actually a bit of a cream puff. And I say that, and he can kill you really quickly. This is probably the most damaging necromorph in the game that has conventional damage and doesn't just straight up kill you. But the idea here is if you take his leg, he's going to chase you around. And if you keep him chasing you, he tends not to regenerate. And you can just kind of keep this rather tense moment going. And as long as you're moving, he just chases. If you get too far away from him, he will regenerate though. And if you want to use something in the room to throw at him and just keep knocking him down, that's definitely a strategy. I'll be careful here as well. I don't know if this has got some of those dudes on the ground. There they are. Right there. That is, I got caught on that corner 2 or 3 times, so be very careful. And if you go through the wrong door here, later on, you can get a very interesting infinite plane that doesn't load, so you just fall through the floor. But he's back again in this room, so I'm going to push over to this ventilation. I'm going to take his leg again, and this room is going to be a bit of a fight. We're going to get some slashers in here, and we're going to get some lurkers as well. The slashers aren't a big of a threat because not only are they female, so you can use their spit against them if you want to, but they go down really quickly because they are the lesser variants. However, the issue here is there is lurkers that are just chilling out. And if those guys want to jump on you, like right now, if he wants to come and grab me, he can do that. But because they pacify when you don't look at them, I'm going to keep my camera off them as best as I can. But as soon as I try to run around them, that's when things start to get a bit interesting. So the lurker shot at me just then, he's to my right. I'm going to do everything I can to hit him and make sure no one's sneaking up on me. There is the Hunter, I'll take his leg again. You don't need to do this if you don't want to, of course. You can run away from the Hunter, but he tends to cut you off. And because he attacks so quickly, he is one of the easiest necromorphs to be caught out by when you try and run around. If you want to stun him with one shot and then progress, you can do that also, but I find it safer to just make sure his leg is nowhere near where it needs to be. And if you want to use an item to knock him down, again, you can do that. I didn't want to do too much of that when I had ammunition, guys, because I wanted to show myself fighting. Later on, though, you're going to see me using bodies a whole lot more. But here is a node door. I think I've already been in here because it's already been damaged. But there's a couple of doors I didn't spin. We get a line rack on that one. We get 2 line racks. A gun I can't even use, which is unfortunate. And that's definitely one of the things I'd like to change in this game, and I hope that the remake does a better job of. I don't think the game should give you ammunition for guns you don't own. And I know that sounds very anti-Resident Evil, but there's just something in that that's really frustrating when you need resources and the game doesn't give them you. But did you see that just then? I don't know if this guy has more HP than the previous Guardian, but he did not go down on the one explosive. And that creature to my right will explode too, so if I'm too close to it I'll take damage. I need to be careful. If you don't want to waste ammo on the Guardian's pods, all you need to do is throw any item at them twice, and if you hit the tentacle correctly, you will destroy the pods without shooting them. Again, I'm not afraid of shooting at this moment because I have plenty of ammunition, and I think shooting's more enjoyable to watch. But now we're going to be going back through the area you've just seen us clear, but this time we'll be doing it in zero gravity. And watch out for these guys again. Everybody's favourite flood-inspired nightmare. And then when you get in here, you're going to see a pregnant directly in front of you, and there's a door just to the right here, and if you can get through this door without being whacked, it's kind of up to the game. So don't sweat too much if you get hit a few times there. I got hit as well. And then when you come through here, there is one lurker, but we can get around him. And then when you get back into this room, we've been through here, so it's regular geometry. We know where we are now. It's old geography, I should say. And there's these guys again, so if you don't kill them, as I'm showing, all you need to do is kite them. So bait them into a side and then give them a wide berth, and you should be absolutely okay. And then just be careful here as you push back through this doorway. Coming up is going to be a boss fight with the Hunter. And if you're quick enough here, you can take his leg and kill him almost immediately. But truth be told, when I was first recording this is a one attempt. I don't usually do that on these runs, and because I didn't come back to the game and do a practice run and really get warmed back up with the game, I'm not as sharp as I would have been, but sometimes that can lead to more interesting footage, so this fight goes a little bit longer and is a little bit more hectic than it needs to be. And if you want to save yourself some ammunition and look like an absolute baller, take his leg immediately, run to the doorway and freeze him. He'll try to get his stuff back and he'll die almost immediately. And you won't even have to fight the lurkers either. But where's the fun in that, right guys? This is meant to be something fun to watch. So we're going to be taking on everybody at once. All kinds of madness happening, and the music's going crazy here. The only real risk of danger to us is if we accidentally get shot by one of the projectiles. And the projectile itself, as you can see, it's like a triple prong. There's a central prong and then there's the exterior prongs, and if you stand in the right space, you can actually dodge it just by movement and just by where you stand. However, in the heat of battle, and depending on where the lurkers fire at you, depends on how easy it is to do, because sometimes just standing still will dodge it. Other times, the more you move, the more damage you'll do to yourself and you'll end up getting hit. So it's one of those, it's like a mixed bag in many ways. But there goes the Hunter, guys. That's the end of Lethal Devotion. Thank you so much for watching, and you take care now.